Have you ever wondered why chains were never needed to keep you still? Why no bars, no walls, yet you remain inside? It is because the prison was never built outside of you. It was coded inside. The sweetest trap is not forged with steel. It is crafted with ease, with convenience, with comfort. And you accepted it willingly. The world offers you pillows instead of questions, entertainment instead of silence, pleasures instead of meaning. You think this is freedom, but freedom that comes without effort is not freedom at all. It is sedation disguised as peace. They made you love your own cage by filling it with small satisfactions, enough to keep you docile, but never enough to awaken your hunger for truth. This is why you rarely resist, because resistance requires discomfort, and discomfort feels like pain. But have you noticed? Every real transformation was born through discomfort. Every rebirth begins with breaking. Every awakening demands friction. Without it, you sink deeper into the velvet of illusions, mistaking sedation for serenity. Comfort is not neutral. It is the system's most delicate weapon. You are not trapped by force, but by your own appetite for ease. You cling to it because it feels safe. But safety is the opposite of growth. You don't grow when everything feels good. You grow when something cracks, when something burns, when something breaks, you open. So ask yourself, are you resting or are you being tamed? Are you enjoying life or are you being lulled into silence? The difference is subtle but deadly. The prison of comfort does not hurt. That is why you love it. That is why you stay asleep. And that is why so few ever escape. The chains you fear are not visible. They are written into the invisible code that governs your choices. Look around. Laws, screens, habits, rituals. Even the way you speak, all of it is scripted. You thought you were deciding, but how much of your life is truly yours? How much of your will is not just an echo of the program? The system doesn't shout, it whispers. It convinces you that the obvious is natural, that the ordinary is inevitable. And once you accept the ordinary as truth, you stop searching for the real. You stop questioning the script. You call it normal, when it was never normal at all. It was designed, and you were trained to obey it without even knowing. Culture, media, algorithms. They are not neutral mirrors of your desires. They are the architects of them. They bend your attention toward what serves the code, not what liberates your mind. Every distraction you consume makes you less likely to rebel. Every pleasure you chase keeps you from asking the only question that matters. Who wrote this script, and why am I following it? But here is the revelation. The system is not made of walls. It is made of agreements. You agree every time you conform, every time you silence the voice inside you, every time you trade truth for comfort. The invisible code only runs because you keep executing it. It dies the moment you refuse to press play. And maybe you've already felt it, the glitch, that sudden sensation that something is wrong with everything, that crack in the program where you catch a glimpse of the real. Do not ignore it. It is the system losing control of you. It is your signal, the proof that you were never just a number in the code. You were always the one meant to see through it. Why do you hesitate when the door is already open? Why do you stay seated when the chains have already dissolved? It is because real freedom terrifies you. You say you want to wake up, but waking is violent. It shatters illusions. It burns away the comfortable lies you once called truth. And deep inside, a part of you fears that you cannot survive outside the cage. Freedom is not soft, it is raw. It strips you of excuses, of false securities, of the comfort that once protected you from your own potential. When you step into it, you realize there is no one left to blame, no system to hide behind, no matrix to point to, only yourself, standing naked before your own responsibility. This is why most people run back to the illusion. The illusion feels safer than the truth. The golden cage is seductive because it demands nothing from you. You can stay asleep and never question why. But real freedom demands everything. It demands your will, your courage, your endurance. It demands that you confront yourself again and again until the fear dissolves. That is why most prefer the lie. They do not want freedom. They want comfort wearing the mask of freedom. And yet, you feel the difference. You sense that something within you is restless. It cannot be soothed by distractions, by screens, by the shallow satisfaction of fitting in. That unease is not weakness. It is the seed of awakening. It is your refusal to accept the golden cage, even when it shines brighter than the truth. So you stand at the threshold, trembling. Behind you, the illusion. Before you, the unknown. That trembling is not a sign of failure. It is the proof that you are alive. Only the awakened tremble. Only those who choose freedom taste fear this deep. And only those who walk through it ever discover who they truly are. The system has no need to punish you. It doesn't need to hurt you. It simply feeds you pleasure until you forget the hunger for truth. A comfortable bed, endless entertainment, instant gratification delivered to your hands. This is how you are sedated, not with pain, but with pleasure. Pleasure becomes your anesthesia, and slowly you stop noticing that you are asleep. Every scroll, every purchase, every bite, it feels harmless, it feels ordinary. But these little hits of dopamine are the drip feed of sedation. They keep you chasing the next small relief, so you never stop to question the meaning of it all. They sell you happiness in fragments, and while you collect them, they steal your time, they steal your life. Pleasure blinds you more effectively than fear. Fear at least shakes you, it awakens survival. But pleasure keeps you calm, compliant, content. It numbs the whisper in your chest that tells you this isn't real. It buries the longing for something greater beneath layers of stimulation. You think you are alive, but you are only entertained. Do you see it now? The comfort you cling to is not neutral. It is intentional. It was designed to keep you still, to stop you from revolting. The system discovered that you will not fight change you cannot feel, so it gave you soft pillows instead of shackles. It gave you convenience instead of confrontation, and in return you gave it your obedience. But deep down, you know that every real awakening begins with withdrawal, with silence, with choosing to feel discomfort instead of running from it. Pain awakens. Pleasure sedates. You cannot serve both. If you want to awaken, you must learn to starve the anesthesia. Only then will you remember what it feels like to truly live. Rebellion does not always come with fire, with shouting, with visible defiance. The greatest rebellion begins in silence. It begins when you stop chasing what everyone else is chasing. When you no longer worship comfort. When you refuse to bow to the illusion, even if no one notices. That is rebellion. The quiet refusal to be sedated. The awakened do not seek chaos. They seek clarity. And clarity itself is an act of resistance. To see what others refuse to see. To hear the static beneath the music. To recognize the pattern hidden in plain sight, your rebellion is not against people. It is against the invisible chains they never question. The system fears this more than anger. Anger can be redirected, manipulated, consumed by distraction. But silence is dangerous. It cannot be bought. It cannot be predicted. It cannot be controlled. In silence, you gather strength. In silence, you become untouchable. You are not rebelling because you hate the world. You are rebelling because you love the truth. Because you sense that there is something more, something pure, something unbroken that exists beyond the illusion. Every act of awareness, every moment you choose presence over distraction is a strike against the system, and perhaps you already feel it. That quiet distance between you and the noise, that subtle disconnection from what everyone else calls normal. Do not mistake it for loneliness. It is strength. It is the sign that you are no longer asleep. You are already rebelling, even if you have not yet spoken a word. The illusion survives not because it is forced, but because it is desired. This is the truth no one wants to face. People do not cling to the false because they are blind. They cling to it because it is comfortable. The lie is easier than the truth. The shadow is easier than the light. The system does not hide the truth completely. It leaves cracks, glimpses, echoes of reality, but most ignore them. Why? Because the truth hurts. It requires effort, responsibility, sacrifice, and most would rather stay in the soft arms of deception than step into the harsh light of reality. The illusion is not imposed, it is chosen. This is the paradox. The chains remain strong only because people hold them tightly. They love the screens that numb them. They love the roles they were given. They love the routine that kills their spirit. They defend the illusion because it protects them from themselves. They call it life when it is only sedation. And yet, within you, there is a fracture. You cannot fully love what they love. You cannot completely surrender to what they accept. That fracture is painful, yes, but it is also the proof that you were not made for the illusion. You were made to see through it, to walk beyond it. Remember this: the shadows only control you if you worship them. The moment you refuse to love the lie, it loses its grip. The moment you see the comfort for what it truly is, a trap, the illusion begins to collapse. And in that collapse, you glimpse the real. You glimpse yourself. Neutrality feels harmless, doesn't it? To stand in the middle, untouched by extremes, safe from judgment. You tell yourself that you are balanced, that you are above the conflict, that refusing to choose is the wiser path. But neutrality is not freedom. Neutrality is the silent agreement that keeps the system alive. When you do not choose, you are already chosen by the code, by the illusion, by the script that continues to run because you never stopped it. The danger of neutrality is that it masquerades as peace while it secretly strengthens control. To remain neutral in a world designed to sedate you is to consent to sedation. You think you are free because you are not actively obeying, but passivity is the purest form of obedience. The system thrives not on rebels, but on the countless who sit still, who do nothing, who tell themselves that it's just the way things are. That passivity is the heartbeat of the matrix itself. And neutrality is seductive because it demands nothing from you. No sacrifice, no discomfort, no confrontation with yourself. It allows you to believe you are untouched by corruption, when in truth you are entangled in it. It is easier to float than to swim, easier to scroll than to reflect, easier to say it doesn't matter than to admit I am afraid. Neutrality is the anesthesia of the spirit, and those who embrace it slowly lose the strength to wake. But the awakened cannot remain neutral. To awaken is to see. And once you see, silence becomes betrayal not only of yourself, but of the truth that called you to rise. Neutrality is not an option for the lucid, because the lucid know that every breath, every step, every thought either feeds the illusion or weakens it. You cannot serve both. You cannot be half awake. The choice is binary, asleep or alive. So understand this. Neutrality is not safety. It is the most subtle trap. It allows you to feel invisible, but in truth, you are hidden only from yourself. The world still consumes you, the system still scripts you, and your silence still echoes as obedience. The danger of neutrality is not what you lose, it is what you never become. Here is the threshold. You stand before it now. On one side lies the script. Predictable, safe, carefully written for you, long before you even learned how to speak. On the other side lies the unknown, terrifying, uncertain, but alive. The question has always been the same. Will you remain inside the illusion, or will you awaken to the truth? The system will never close the door. It doesn't need to, because most will never dare to walk through it. The script is seductive because it promises comfort. It tells you who to be, what to desire, how to measure success, and when to surrender. It relieves you of the burden of thinking, of questioning, of carrying the weight of your own destiny. But that relief comes at the highest cost, your soul. When you remain in the script, you trade your essence for predictability, your freedom for sedation, your fire for silence. Awakening, however, is a path carved in uncertainty. It will strip you of the illusions that once sheltered you. It will leave you exposed, trembling, and raw. But it will also return to you something that no system can offer: yourself, your true self, unmasked, unchained, and unbroken. Awakening is not about conquering the world outside. It is about conquering the illusion within. And you, watching now, already know this. You have felt the crack in the script. You have seen the glitch. You have sensed the discomfort that others bury with pleasure. That is not coincidence. It is the signal, it is the invitation, it is the reminder that you were never born to obey. You were born to awaken. And this moment right here, right now, is the proof that you are ready to choose. So, I ask you, what will you choose? Will you continue to love the illusion, knowing it will never love you back? Or will you step into the unknown, knowing it will reshape you into who you were always meant to be? I ask because your voice matters, your awakening matters. Share your thoughts with me. Tell me what you feel, what you fear, what you are ready to leave behind. You are not alone here. You are seen. You are valued. You are part of something greater. If these words have stirred something in you, honor that. Leave a comment, give this video your support, subscribe to this channel, and share it with those who need to hear the truth as much as you did. And when the next video appears on your screen, watch it. It will be the continuation of this path you've just begun. The choice is yours: remain in the script or awaken.